Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another episode. Today, I'm joined, as usual, by Danielle and Tim, and we are going to talk about some new features in Zoho CRM. I feel like 2025 is kind of the year of, at least it feels like so far, lots and lots of new stuff coming. So
Yeah,
we want to dive into some of the things around list view and managing tasks more efficiently and just making your day less clicks. Would you agree?
100%.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. It seems like we're getting new features every other week. And so,
And I
Constantly.
like the fact that they're kind of smattering the bigger
yeah,
things and the smaller things. They're kind of going back, and like CRM for everyone was pretty big,
yeah,
but a lot of this stuff is there's small little changes, but they have a huge impact. But they're not as big changes graphically. It's
right.
I like the new ones that we're going to cover today. They're pretty cool.
I do too. And I feel like you touched on they don't necessarily feel like a big splash visually, which is
Mhm.
why we're going to dive into them because some of you might have these features and not even realize.
Not even
Yeah,
seen them
It-
yet.
they're it's,
Yeah.
they're
Yes.
easy to miss for
Very
sure.
easy to miss. And I think some of them we've even shown each other, like, oh, here's this one, and there's another kind of layered one. So, do we want to go ahead and jump in, Danielle? You want to share your screen and we'll dig
Absolutely.
in
Yep.
to the latest webopotamus as we're calling these?
Sure. Hold on 2 seconds. Let me share my screen, portion of screen and share. And this is it's our little mascot for combination of their webinars, their podcasts, they're all rolled into one. We had AI generate a little webopotamus mascot for us. So, all right. As usual, this is the sandbox/demo database. There may be some odd names in here. Pay no attention to the names so much. The features are there. Tim, do you want to start us off with the first thing on the list?
Sure. So the first thing is you'll notice we have the flags like we've always had, but the graphic has changed a little bit. And now if you hover over it and you click on it, you're going to get a summary for that contact or for that row, depending on what you're looking at. This is opportunities. So it's going to show you all the activities, all the tasks, separated out the meetings and the calls. And also in the upper right-hand corner, it will allow you to schedule right from here. So you can schedule a task, you can schedule a meeting, or log a call, or schedule a future call. Um, this, in the old days, I think most people probably would have opened the opportunity or opened
Yeah.
the contact
Yeah.
and then scheduled. Now you can just do it right from here. And one of the features that I love, which has been around for a while, but a lot of people are not aware of it, is if you are on an opportunity and you schedule an activity, that activity is tied not only to the opportunity, but also to the primary contact for that opportunity, as well as the account/company record. So it shows up all over the place. So that's also a lot of saves on points and clicks because it associates it to all those modules automatically, which is
Right. And typically when we do our training, that is what we train the client to do. Even
Mhm.
though you're making the call to the contact, you actually look up the opportunity or deal record you're working with, associate the activity to that, and then it rolls up into, like Tim said, the related contact, the related account, and then it's notated on there. So that does a nice roll up feature.
And this is one other thing that I would point out. This is not a new thing. It's been around a long time, but I'm not sure if everyone is aware. You'll notice this is a demo environment, so some of the data is rather old. But if you notice all the flags are in red, that means they're overdue. If they're showing up in yellow, they're due today, and if they're showing up in green, they're due in the future. So it's just a color code indicator as to how overdue it is, or whether it's today or whether it's in the future.
And
So
I like that they brought the activity badges in. It's one of the things that I think people went to on their home pages. They used that classic view a lot
Mhm.
because it was one of the only views that had those badges, those little flags built
Yeah.
in. It's a nice little visual. Yeah, this I think is a really cool. I never know what to call that icon. Is
It's
it
a
a
heart
is it
monitor.
a heart
It looks like, yeah, the
monitor?
heart
Is
monitor,
it
because it looks like it's like one of those beep beep, and
I
we
do.
don't want the flat line.
I find myself saying to clients, the little heart, click on the little heart monitor.
So what
So,
does the little heart monitor do for us, Michelle?
so the little heart monitor, it's similar to what we were looking at before. I think it's a major click saver. So I can create tasks right from here. a meeting from here, a call from here. It's just saving you, like Tim said, from drilling down into the record, lots of little savings of the clicks. So schedule right from there.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's your little flag. Oh, he's orange now. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be yellow. Now I like that color. I like the new color a little bit better.
All right. I'm gonna
It's the
do.
The
little
only
things.
difference between those two features that we just covered is if there's existing tasks, meetings, or calls, you're going to have that flag there, and you click the flag to go in and look at it, and then you can create new. If that row doesn't have any activities assigned to it, then you click the little heart monitor. That's
Well,
really
and I feel like a little of an Easter egg, something we'll get to later, but the activity badge is kind of a summary of the things that have happened and are coming up. So it's a
Mhm.
really great, rather than clicking into the record, I think we all train this to our clients in sales. Before you pick up the phone or write an email, do a little homework and
Yeah,
review what has happened, what's upcoming. So that's a really nice way to see that summary where the little heart monitor is just get that thing scheduled.
get it started. Yeah,
Yeah, so get that next thing coming up scheduled maybe after you
Right.
look at the little summary of the activity badge. Um, yeah, and then built into the little dot 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 is some new stuff too. So if we hover over one, the far, yep.
yeah.
So
This is
now I
great.
can do some of this, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but some of this was here, but this list is much longer now and
Yeah,
things
Yes.
you can do without, again, without
Without.
clicking multiple times to get into a
Right.
record.
Huge time saver for mouse clicks and such. Send an email directly from here, change the owner. And a lot of times we would do it with, hey, we can do mass update or things
Mhm.
like that, but just creating a task from here or something
Mhm.
like that. Or one of my absolute favorites, when you go down to more, you've got create call, create meeting, and up here it's create task. But this one I love, love, love a lot. This was one of my favorite.
Same.
Copy the URL.
Yeah,
And what would we use that for? Well, I will tell you. A lot of times I'll have a client say, hey, we had this thing happen, blah, blah, blah. And I'll say, send me the sample record, send me the
Yep.
record that it happened on.
yeah.
And sometimes I forget, you may not know how to send that record to somewhere. So if I do copy URL here, it will have an exact link to, hold on one second, if I were to do Notepad. If I bring up Notepad, um,
Did it come up on
you
our
copy
screen?
that URL,
There we
it
go. Yep.
pastes the exact URL. So you could put that in an email, you could put it in Click, you could send it to your consultant for troubleshooting and
Or
send it,
even internally, like a
yep,
manager on
new
a sales
leads.
team could send it and
Yep,
say, hey, this is a new opportunity for you. Please go take a look at it. And
yep,
it's a quick, it's a click for them. They don't have to remember the name or remember the company name and do a search.
Yeah.
It just
directly
lets them
to
go
it.
directly to
So,
it.
yeah.
There was one other thing that I wanted to mention on that with the dot dot dot, the ellipsis on the row, is the change owner. This is probably obvious, but just to make sure, you'll only be able to change an owner if you could change the owner of that record. It's not like it's going to circumvent it. So if you're
The
not an
permissions,
administrator,
right?
or if you're a regular sales rep, for example, you can't change the owner of somebody else's record to you.
Right. You
But
don't
you're
have
given
delete
permission
rights,
to
you
do
wouldn't be
that. So
able
it's
to
going to,
delete and things
yeah,
like that.
it's going to respect all those permissionings.
Yeah, exactly. All right. One of the little things that I do occasionally is you may not notice the filters over on the side when I'm doing the task training and such. It'll be things like I need for you to go in and who haven't you contacted? What accounts haven't you followed up with or whatever? But
Mhm.
over here under the activities filter, I can do things and say, show me all opportunities without an open activity. And I can filter on that. And that'll give me all the opportunities in here that do not have a follow-up activity on it. You may have forgotten, it may have fallen down the cracks or whatever. Sorry, I went a little rogue there. It just, that's one of the
No,
favorite
but
features I do when I do
Yeah.
training. So,
it's a good segue into a new feature that's in the list views. Again, all
Yeah.
about efficiency is if you click on a burger, one of the, on the column headings, I love how all the buttons, I relate them to food. Uh,
hamburger menu.
filter by is now built in. to
Yeah.
all of your list views on the column headings. You can filter. And again, a lot of users don't realize you can search for the field name, but
Yeah.
here it just snaps you right to it. It's all about making that navigation, the clicks so much more efficient, I think.
I
So
think remind me, I'm pretty sure this is accurate. The hamburger symbol at the top of a column, it used to just be ascend and descend. That's all you could
it
do, right?
used to just be for
Yeah.
sorting. Yeah.
Sorting
And so
only.
now, in addition to sorting, you can actually filter it and say, I only want to see the
Right.
value proposition stage.
Yeah.
Or if
Which,
you wanted to pin a column, that's kind of a cool one
yeah,
too,
Oh,
where
I love that one. If I pin the opportunity name here, when I scroll over, it
it
stays.
remains.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's worth mentioning, but out of the box, when you log into CRM, you're in the what they call the tile view. I think all three of us love this list view better. I think it's a more
Yeah.
efficient use of space. So
Mhm.
to get all of those little almost spreadsheet like, right?
Mhm.
Controls over making it easy to work with a lot of data within a list, I think is
Mhm.
really efficient.
Yeah. I
One of the
totally
things
agree.
I notice if I have somebody that'll come to me that'll say, hey, and you guys get this all the time too. We've been using Zoho for a year, 2 years, whatever it is, and we're having difficulty getting around. One of the simple things I do is I take them back to the list view from whatever tile view or whatever else they were
Yes.
on. That alone puts them back at a comfort level where it's almost like Excel type. It's more
Absolutely.
comfortable for people. It's easier for them to learn. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's easier to manipulate the data.
Much easier, I
I
think.
think
Yeah.
tile view is great under certain circumstances,
Yep.
but for efficiency and like to Michelle's point, for compactness of
Yeah.
screen real estate, you
Yes.
see so much more. And I think I will speak for myself. My brain works in that list view really
Yes.
well. I can look at it and understand it very quickly. The tile view can be a little overwhelming to me.
Yep.
There are times when it's great, but
Yeah, just so everybody can kind of see, you can make a very graphically heavy, pretty list view, if you will. But yeah, some of these features I think are just so much more efficient. And again,
yeah,
clicks are time.
yeah.
Mhm.
And not to be
Like
corny, but time is money, right?
yeah,
Yep, exactly.
tile view would be fantastic for like a list of products because then you can have a picture of the product and you can kind of see it.
Sure.
But for
Yeah.
data, I list
Agreed.
view every time for
Yeah.
me
Agreed.
or
And I don't
Kanban
actually have a
depending.
tile view set up in this sandbox, so apologies for that. So
No, all
All
good. I
right,
think it's kind
we
of
went rogue.
a little.
we always do.
I
We
have
do.
my opinions, as we know. I think the tile views can be a little bit, yeah, space heavy. I like my condensed view. Do we
Well,
want to show kind of as I'll mention, stay
one
tuned.
of yeah,
Go
one
ahead.
of the others I forgot on the list here because I was clicking around on other things is the hide column, right? You may
Mhm.
not use it very often, but hey, maybe I just want to get the closing date off of here so I can see
Speaking
more
of
up
that real
here.
estate, right?
Yeah,
Manage
thinking
your
of the
real
real estate.
estate.
And so you can always get it back by manage columns over here. It's just a quick and dirty way to get it done. And it's basically taking closing date off of there, but I can put it back, I can move it back up, and then it is back where it needs to be. All right.
Love.
Cool.
And I would say stay tuned for another Webopotamus too. There's even more cool stuff coming on the list views. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. Um, Danielle, did you want to talk a little bit about, well, I know everybody's talking about AI and we get all day, every day. How do I get AI in my database and all that? And we wanted to just kind of give a sneak peek of one while we're talking about efficiency and managing data and all of that. Being able to see data real quickly and have the database make the sales job more faster. Nice words, Michelle. But more
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 efficient, yeah.
efficient. Yeah.
Excellent words, Michelle.
Thank
Excellent.
you. Thank you.
Well, I've actually cheated with this a couple of times, but it's many different ways you can do it. And we are going to have an entire Webopotamus on AI here coming up soon
Yeah.
when we get a few more of these in here. But I
Mr.
cheated by
Wonderful's investments. I love the things we come up with. It's great.
again, demo database,
Love it.
it gets odd.
I love
And so while I'm sitting in here, we've got a couple of activities, open activities, couple closed activities or whatever. But sometimes I'll use this because I'm jumping into a meeting, I'm getting ready to call, or I've used it when somebody has called me, a prospect has called me back, they wandered away or whatever. They call me back and I'm supposed to have an intelligent conversation with them. There should be a generate summary at the top here. It actually looks at everything that's on the account record. One of the things that we do internally is when we're done with a meeting, we'll take our Fathom recording and we put it into the actual closed activity, what happened on that meeting. And this generate summary can take all of that into consideration. It looks at the closed opportunities and everything, or closed activities and everything. So it'll come in and it will generate a summary. When you click on show summary, it gives you everything that is found in here. It was created on this date, it was created on that date, several related records associated with this deal, one task with the subject need, value proposition, or quote has a high priority. It's not started yet. It gives you deadlines for these dates. Again, sample database. 2 completed tasks in this account, 1's first attempt left. It can also give you some next steps that are in here. And I really, really like this. It gets you up to date quick and easy so that you can have a quick conversation with somebody without having to spend an hour reviewing all the notes and everything that's in here, all the
And that is a time suck,
activities.
right? I
It
think
is.
all
Yeah.
of us train less point and click, but how CRM's going to make your job easier and, help you do more
Oh,
efficiently is
before you
kind of the
close
thing.
it, hang on.
Yep, go ahead.
Go
And
back to, sorry, go back to
this
show
one,
summary. Michelle, you finish your thought, and then I want to go back to the show summary because there's something I wanted to point out.
Okay.
I always
Sorry.
teach, and I think you guys do too. Don't pick up the phone if you don't know who and what you're calling about, right?
Yes.
Do a little review first. And this to me, it does it beautifully. And I was going to say something in addition to, but I think I'm going to go where you were going to go, Tim. So I'll let you mention it.
Well, there's 2 things on this dialog box. If you've already generated the history a week ago, you can click the regenerate in the lower left-hand corner and
Mhm.
it'll refresh it with anything that's happened since the last time it generated the summary. And in the upper right-hand corner, there's a copy
I
button.
love that feature.
Yes. So if you want to report to your client or your prospect kind of
Or a
where you're
manager,
at,
right?
Manager.
Like,
or a
Yeah.
manager or a team member, or, whatever, you can quickly copy it. Obviously, if you're sending it outside your organization, you're going to want to review it before
yeah.
you actually send it because there may be stuff in there that's not really client or prospect facing,
Yeah.
but it does give you those tools to just quickly and easily share this information back and forth.
Yeah, very powerful. And again, just a little sneak peek of there is AI being introduced into
Yep.
Zoho, and we want to show you the ways that some actual
Yep.
application of how it can help you do your job better.
Yeah.
And that generate summary is available in multiple modules. So you can do
Yes.
it at a contact level, you can do it at the account or company level. So you just look for it, it'll show up in the top of a record.
Yeah.
And we typically tell people new features almost always have that little sparkle next to them. So click on it, see what it does.
So here on this opportunity, you've got the
Mhm.
generate summary. Again, demo database. So actually there's no even closed activities in here. So this was kind of not really going to do much here, but okay. All right. So that is basically what I had for today. Did we miss anything? I'm taking a look at my list over here.
I don't think so. Lots and lots. Again, stay tuned. Lots and lots of new features coming. Q1 2025, there's a lot coming out
They
for
dropped a lot.
CRM. So hopefully we'll have even more dive-ins to what these features are. So 1, we'll point them out. 2, show you how we see them being useful for you and managing your businesses.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Cool.
everybody for
Thanks,
joining
guys.
us
Thanks,
again.
Thank you very
everybody.
much.
See
Have
you
a great
soon.
weekend. Bye.